cyberpunks and retro nerds, welcome back to another episode of Neon Trash. And tonight we're going to dip our toes once again into that wonderful VHS vault and watch American Ninja 2. That's right, it is time for cheesy, terrible 80s ninja movie.
No further ado, guys, you know how this part works.
That's right.
Check out that motherfucking trailer.
Peep that shit. And when we get back, you're gonna know our opinions on motherfucking
American Ninja
2, starring Michael Dudikoff.
Dude.
He has been taught the mystic arts of war.
Sight.
He has mastered 1,000 years of secrets. He has learned the way of the ninja. Now, a soldier on a suicide mission. They have been sent to paradise.
Excuse me, ma'am. Wow.
To defeat a conspiracy that threatens the entire world.
Who set me up? I said who? The lion. Who's the lion?
He's a millionaire. He made his money on drugs. He's doing research.
The Super Ninja. The ultimate fighting machine.
Like a predatory tiger, you will feel no pain
Miracles.
and know no emotion but hate.
It's ninja against ninja.
Charlie, the tower!
Together, they must destroy the most powerful criminal empire the world has ever known. He must defeat the most lethal assassin alive, and they must not fail. Michael Dudikoff returns as the American Ninja with Steve James in American Ninja 2, The Confrontation.
Alright, guys, we just got done watching Michael Dudikoff in American Ninja Part 2. Huge fan of the first movie. I love ninja films from the 1980s. Grew up watching them with my brother. I feel like anyone that grew up in that era has a soft spot or a fond memory of these types of action films. In terms of a ninja film from the 80s, there is a ton of ninja action in this. You've got bodies piling up, you've got action out the wazoo. In terms of the whole American aspect of it, you've got a lot of that too. So this movie doesn't fuck around in its prospects, and it really delivers as an action film. What about you, John?
Dude, I mean, you're totally right. I mean, those of us old farts that are old enough to have grown up in the 80s, you knew ninjas were absolutely everywhere. And it was, I mean, I mean, what's not to love about this, like, super secret, Japanese assassin, using the cool swords, throwing stars, blowguns, like, all those cool weapons, like, was there a bigger market than us 80s kids who would just, like, soak this stuff up like a sponge,
Indeed.
I mean, there's a reason why they made, at least 4 of these, I mean, it's just a winner, man, because this just printed money back then.
Obviously, they had to go with some direction with this movie. With the first film, it was like setting up the premise, so you had that kind of like discovery element to it. Like you were riding along with the main character, and that's what was so appealing about the first one, obviously. But this one, it feels like those characters are just kind of ripped out of their world and just thrusted into like this premise, and that's fine because the premise is fucking batshit insane. I mean, it starts out pretty grounded and realistic. It's, you got drug runners, you've got ninjas, you've got the military aspect, and then it starts slow cooking, and you're sitting here watching it. We've been drinking, we're like, what the fuck's happening? Enjoying ninja fight after ninja fight after ninja fight, because that's how it is, like the domino effect.
This will give you plenty of action for sure.
Yeah. Within the last 20 minutes, you're just fucking shoved into this like insane sci-fi revelation that you're like, okay. And in my opinion, when it was first introduced, not on board with it. By the end, got on board with it, but then the ending is so lackluster, so out of nowhere, so fucking stupid, and so fucking cheesy that you're like, fuck that shit.
I mean, obviously, when you got a pre-established character, like, now they have to do something, right? So you got to come up with something.
Yeah.
And they came up with something. All right. And I got to say, like, and I think they did have something cooking at the beginning for sure.
Yeah,
but
that
like
early
it was hampered by a little too much dialogue from like not so good actors. Honestly, like our two main leads are absolutely fantastic. You know,
Right.
they're great for what they. I mean,
Hammy, as expected.
yeah, I mean, and it's honestly like Michael Dudikoff himself, like really maybe isn't the greatest actor, but
But
he
he's
doesn't-
like silent.
He doesn't have to be because his character's so calm, cool, collected, silent, strong type
Yeah.
that he can get away with just being good looking.
His sidekick.
His sidekick brings that attitude, right? You know, and helps give you that. But I mean, it was also tapping into. I mean, like body cop things were huge in the 80s,
Yes.
right? I mean,
Huge part of this.
You know, so it's so funny how this movie kind of like maybe draws on one too many other movies. It's like trying to rip off because like there's other people compare it to like it's just Dr. No rip off because you got this like
did read that.
you know this super sinister secretive bad guy who's trying to raise these army or whatever. Like okay, you know,
it's like a doctor.
So it's an American ninja to go stop him. So it's like,
on the channel, we haven't covered the first movie. But I want to stress that because at some point we will. I would love to cover all of the American Ninja movies on the channel.
but we got what we got.
We got what we got. We got part 2, and we're reviewing part 2. Not better than the first movie, but tonight, after watching it with Johnny Boy here, I'm going to go with flat 6.
And honestly, that's like probably the most this movie deserves.
I gave it a little nostalgia.
Yeah, right. I mean, because I was thinking like flat 5. Honestly, like this movie is like really not good.
No,
but like. I love this kind of shit. Like this is like
that's where the extra star comes.
Like this like marks like the center of my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
This is just
like it sucked, but we're not mad we watched it.
No, absolutely not. I'll give us, sometimes you give a star for nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like this, like hits that button twice for me. So a couple of stars. Gonna bump this from a 5 to a 7, just because like I love this kind of shit.
You're exceeding me.
Like
then? Is that
yeah,
really what
like I mean.
So, oh my God. We had an exhausting week. We wanted to sit around, we want to drink, we watch a fucking video. We want to like
something I know I'm gonna like.
Yeah.
Something that's
comfort food.
Exactly.
It's the pot pie of VHS action movies. I don't know why I said that.
I was this would be more like just that pepperoni pizza. Right? Just like good pepperoni pizza. Like nothing complicated, just good fucking maybe not good for you.
Anyways, let's not beat a dead horse or beat a dead ninja.
We still didn't get into all like the politics and everything.
Oh, all right. Let's. Well, no, I mean, let's do a star count and then let's do extra.
We did a star count.
Yeah,
we did rambling on.
We might be rambling on. I might actually put this all into the same review.
I mean,
we haven't done like a review with like the fuck ups at the beginning and the end.
Yeah, right.
Let's just keep going.
So there was
politics.
An interesting. I mean, because it's American, so this is very patriotic, right? And we've got like military. We've got Marines. But then we've got they're sending in a couple of Army Rangers to this Marine base, so there's that clash there, right? But like these are all the tough guys, and like that's what we were supposed to be in the 80s.
Yeah.
We were supposed to aspire these tough guys. Yeah, right. Like, what exemplified that machismo besides the U.S. military, right? Who's most badass? Marines, the Army. But it's so Marines are badass, but then Army Rangers are like the best of the best, and like so you got these tough dudes and stuff, right? And like. But then there's like, they're kind of throwing the politics of like, they're in a foreign country, so they're really like guests of the country, and they're like beholden to kind of like their way of doing things, so like they might know that the bad guys like doing bad stuff, but they can't do anything because of course all the politicians there are in the pockets of the big bad drug dealer guys. Surprise, surprise. Like,
yeah.
We've seen that before, and like. And it's like, I don't know, only nowadays we realize that, like, oh yeah, no, the U.S. military is also in bed with all of those guys across the world, so, yeah.
There's a lot of guys in guys' pockets. It's just how it goes.
It was funny how they, like, touched on, like, the relative topics of the times. Like, what was the one line? It's like, I didn't know if these guys are from, or they, you know, Russian or Chinese or Libya.
Oh, I know,
right? Yeah, it's like, you know, naming all, like, the bad guys at the time. This is 87, so that'd be like, what, 2-3 years before the wall fell, right? So this is still, like, yeah, you know,
right on the cusp of shit happening.
Yeah, we're still doing duck and cover drills in school. Like, yeah, we still remember that. You remember that shit?
I do.
Right?
I do remember duck and cover. What the fuck?
I mean, so that's how you know, like, we're still like late Gen X guys, because like we remember like doing duck and cover drills and shit. Like, you know, like the millennials, they probably don't remember that because like they were just right before they got to school, so they weren't doing that at that point. But it's this movie that had that, I don't know, kind of undertone of like, I mean, it wasn't, but it almost was like an hour and a half long ad for like the military in a way, like.
But not really.
I mean, but
the military aspect didn't come until like the very end.
But it's because that started though, because it was the Marines.
I mean, you're right. It's in its DNA. At the beginning, it's
like badass Army Rangers.
Yeah,
like,
American
we would be these
Ninja.
Rangers. You would be these badass dudes.
Yeah.
Too. Like we'll teach you ninjutsu tricks and stuff. Like, I mean,
but for the most part, it's pretty ninja though. We're done.